thrown in the deep end. 6 of Australia's fittest Ironmen pushed way out of their comfort zone on foreign soil, facing unknown challenges in America's most incredible places. Last time on Deep Water, it was river deep, mountain high, with Ali securing his first win of the series.
That was easily one of the hardest things we've done.
Today, it's the Battle of Lake Tahoe.
A lot of blow-ups.
Passions flare.
You should be disqualified.
And rivalries spiral out of control.
I'm all about fair racing and I just don't get it, mate.
There can only be one winner. Welcome to Deep Water. With just 3 challenges remaining, our Ironmen are on the road again. As always, it's destination unknown.
We're heading into this massive mountain range, and I thought we're heading towards a beach.
I was trying to work out what we were going to do. That was the thing that was going through my head.
It seems to be no way near the ocean or anywhere near water for us to paddle our boards and skis.
But if there's one rule on Deep Water, it's expect the unexpected.
Oh my God, Ali.
Jeez.
What? Oh my God.
The last 2 challenges have both been dry land. To see the water again, it just gave me the biggest sense of relief.
Until they catch a glimpse of the course.
Look at those cans.
Oh, jeez. That's a long swim.
Can you see the cans?
Yeah, look at that. Oh my God.
I was just so blown away. I knew it was going to be such a long race.
On the California-Nevada border, the glittering Lake Tahoe is the largest alpine lake in America. The scenery will take your breath away, but so will the 10-degree water temperature.
Lake Tahoe. How beautiful is this place? 7,000 feet high and 500 meters deep. This is your location for your next challenge of Deep Water, USA.
Any suggestions of what we're going to get up to today? Ali?
Well, the boys have been throwing out a few guesses here and there. Yeah, who knows?
I don't care what the challenges are. I just want to go out there and win.
Today's challenge will be called the Tahoe Waterman. This is an endurance race.
I love the longer stuff. That's always, I guess, works in my favour.
You will start the race off with a 600-metre swim in this freezing cold water, and then you'll be racing 4 different water disciplines. A paddleboard, an OC1.
I didn't even know what an OC1 was, so I feel really bad for that.
Your surf skis, and a 12-6 stand-up paddleboard.
You know, really, SUPs for me is not great, and I've paddled once before and I paddled really badly.
Cooley?
Yeah, it's going to be tough, but I think it'll be a little bit of fun. The OC1s, I don't think any of the boys here have paddled, and the SUP we've only done a little bit on. I think it'll be a good, hard race.
You really need to have your head switched on. Some of the transitions will be tricky.
Kai, I noticed you were just shaking your head. I thought you'd be pretty happy today knowing that you're going to be in the water for a whole challenge.
Oh, I'm only shaking my head that we're sitting at 7,000 feet. I'm struggling to breathe.
Okay, guys, go out there and enjoy your challenge. Don't be fooled by the beautiful, pristine lake.
The high altitude is the potential hazard here. Kai's struggling with it, but he's determined to push through.
Having enough trouble breathing, walking right now, let alone racing, so no doubt I'm not the only one, but time will tell.
Perched at 2,100 metres in altitude, Lake Tahoe is home to icy water and jaw-dropping scenery. It's a stunning venue for today's race, but before they can begin, Paulie needs a top-up of his prescription medication.
He beat me yesterday and he's crook as a dog, so it doesn't seem to be affecting him.
It's not affecting him at all.
Spewing. We're all still having a sick time though.
Hey, this place is beautiful. Well, I'd bring the family here for sure.
Like, I'll definitely won't be back here on a holiday with Bevy. That's for sure.
We made it.
With their pit stop complete, the boys are now ready to race in Tahoe's chilly waters.
I thought it was going to be sort of Ironman race sort of thing, but every time there's some mad twist.
Hailing from Tasmania, 22-year-old Matt Bevilaqua might be the only guy actually ready for the cold water.
I grew up in Hobart and went to Clifton Beach Surf Club, which is the southernmost surf club in Australia. It was cold and brutal.
He made the leap to the Sunshine Coast 3 years ago to follow his dream of being an Ironman.
I sort of, knew I had to get out of Tasmania. It's not really a place where you can become an Ironman. So I put my skiing board on the roof and got in the spirit of Tasmania and got across Bass Strait and drove all the way out. I didn't think the car was going to make it, actually.
After 2 accomplished seasons in the Nutri-Grain IronMen series, he's tipped as a star of the future.
So I've had to make so many sacrifices to get where I am, and I feel like I should be, making the most of that.
But so far on deep water, Bevy hasn't shown his full potential. He's hoping today will be a turning point.
The last 2 challenges I've come 5th in. I've been in my head a bit, sort of thinking, why am I here, Like I've come, too far too quickly and, I really need a good result.
Today's challenge will be the ultimate test of endurance and adaptability across 4 different kinds of watercrafts. They'll start with a 600-metre swim before racing on paddleboards, 1-person outrigger canoes, surf skis, and finally stand-up paddleboards. Once they've done all that, they'll have to repeat the entire course in reverse order.
Fit on the line, boys. Set.
Obviously, the swim's my strongest component.
Kai's actually leading.
The idea for us when we're swimming in a race like that and you have someone so fast, you either try and sit on their hip or on their feet and get in their little slipstream.
Already tactics coming into play, the swimming at the back. Sitting on feet's a lot easier, so it's probably like almost 40% easier. We've tucked all the boards into nooks and crannies, as you can see behind me, so the guys have really got to keep their eyes open. When normally in a race, it's just petitioned out for them.
So Kai actually got to his board first, and then I tried to stuffed around trying to unclip the carabiner that was clipping the boards on. Mine just got completely stuck.
So Hursty's just jumped on his board first. He's actually got about a 15-metre lead on Paulie. Ali's on in 3rd, and Bevy's on 4th. Kendrick's still just got his board off.
I ended up getting out of there last by nearly 15 metres.
Look at Ali, how smart he's gotten right. He's realised that Paulie, being such a world champion board paddler at the moment for the Molokai, he's dashed as hard as he can to get up behind Paulie. Really tried to, I suppose, take advantage of just sitting on a wash.
That was a good start for me. I was a little bit worried that maybe Kai might have put a little bit of a gap into me, but I ended up and passed Kai pretty easily.
Meanwhile, for series leader Kendrick, it's been a nightmare start.
And Kendrick hurting. Flying off the back of the pack already.
I reckon Kendrick's going to have a hard time catching up.
For veteran Kai, the pace and altitude are taking their toll.
In the back of my head, I still knew I had a sup to go and the OC1, which I had never come across before.
There's still a lot of water to cover in this challenge. and tensions are about to boil over.
Well, there's a fight, look.
He started blowing up.
I was contemplating whacking him with my paddle.
On Lake Tahoe, our 5 Ironmen are facing off in a grueling 16-kilometre challenge and closing in on a watercraft they've never encountered before.
It's a single-man ocean canoe, so it was actually used in the day of Polynesian, Hawaiian, and this is how they used to, transport between islands.
We've never paddled one before, let alone sat in one before.
I was actually quite excited to get in on it on my own and just see how I could actually master it.
It's just crazy. We had to paddle our boards under the armour and clip it on before you could even think about jumping into your outrigger.
Just a narrow boat, it's got the full armour on the outside and everyone's just trying to get in, everyone's in a rush.
I jumped on, started paddling, and my fin was caught on the lines.
As soon as I got in, I couldn't go because Bevy had his hand on my armour. I was like, mate, can you let go? And he's like, I'm not holding on. So I just argued back.
He started blowing up and I was like sitting in, no hands on anything. And I was like, I'm not doing anything, mate.
Well, there's a fight, look. Look.
Barely, I didn't touch it. Like, I barely did anything.
He either threw his hands in the air and I coincidentally fell off, or he lifted it. I was contemplating whacking him with my paddle.
While Kendrick and Bevy are locking horns, Paulie breaks free ahead of Ali, who's losing time and focus.
He struggled with the carabine. I don't understand why he doesn't sit up on his craft. He gets in the water at this level and can't see it, but if you sit up on it, you can actually, see what you're doing.
Things were going really, really well, and then the next minute you lose concentration or you start stressing and worrying and other guys are going past you.
But it doesn't take long for Ali to regain the lead.
You see how tippy these are for these guys. That's something they have never done before. But look at Ali Day. He's just taking off like he's done it all day long.
I pushed off out of that chaos and then didn't really appreciate how much the armour was stabilising me and went off. I reckon it might have been calmer actually for flipping Kendrick off.
Well, Ali's just killing it out in front. He's just putting metres and metres on. Yeah, Ken just come from the back into seconds. He races off anger. He's quite an aggressive racer.
Ali and Kendrick storm through the outrigger section and soon arrive at their surf skis.
When Wes and Zane told us the challenge that I knew that Kendrick was probably going to be the one to beat.
I got to my ski behind Ali. He's a master at this sort of distance events, and I thought, you know what, if I can go with him, I'm probably going to slip in either a first or a second today.
Paulie's dropped back from second to fourth, so he won't be happy with that. Ali's leading the way and he's doing really well.
Ali had a good lead on me and I saw I was just pegging him back.
But as Kendrick edges closer to the lead, the boys are heading for another unfamiliar vessel.
This is what it's all about, you know, deep water, throwing them in the deep end.
It's called a stand-up paddleboard, so naturally, Ali stands up.
I've done a little bit of sup stuff, but that's, you know, floating around with my girlfriend.
Kendrick's tried it before too, but his approach is a little different.
I've got mates who do it and they always advise me if you're not comfortable on your feet, just stay on your knees and get out of the wind and do it that way.
It works. Kendrick takes the lead, so Bevy follows suit. Then so does Ali. Paulie is the last man standing.
I've done a fair bit of work on the stand-up paddle boards. I jumped on and I was standing up and could see that Ali and Kendrick who in front of me were on their knees paddling, and then when I realised that they were going faster than me doing that because of the oncoming wind, I hopped on my knees, and all of a sudden something that I thought was going to be an advantage to me because that was a strength is now on a level playing field.
Well, I don't know if they're allowed to be on their knees, to be honest.
Meanwhile, after a horrible run on the ski, Kai's bringing up the rear with an innovation of his own.
Just did what I had to do to get through.
Now, it's Kai's style everyone imitates. Except for race leader, Kendrick.
If I get given a paddleboard and a paddle, you automatically think, well, I have to use the paddle. You know, turning around and seeing all the other boys not using it, I just thought it was pretty unfair. And, you know, I bridged a gap on Ali and I turned around and saw him laying down and he caught straight back up to me. So it was definitely quicker. You know, I'm not going to lie down and not use it because that defeats the person even having the paddle.
And Kendrick's saying to me, get off, so I got off my stomach. And I turned around, the boys were still doing it.
I think, you know, a few of the suppers out there will look at us and laugh.
The paddle is a part of the brief. How many didn't use it? It's cheating, mate.
The race supervisors step in to lay down the law.
Use your paddle. You have to use your paddle. No, they're all paddling, mate. They're all paddling. Yeah, who hasn't used it? Saw him.
A few of them were paddling on their bellies, which is a lot faster, so Kendrick just showed how frustrated he was with that. I think there's going to be a lot of blow-ups.
On Lake Tahoe, we're entering the final stages of a race that's been packed with thrills, spills, and red-hot scandal.
The paddle is a part of the brief. How many didn't use it? It's cheating, mate.
Forget Watergate. This is Paddlegate.
If I get given a paddleboard and a paddle, you automatically think, well, I have to use the paddle. You know, I'm not going to lie down and not use it because that defeats the person even having the paddle. You may as well just chug it away.
Now Kendrick and the boys have to refocus and get through the final legs of this lung-busting 16-kilometre race. For Kai Hurst, the whole course has been torture.
I was praying for a wave, but obviously we got no waves here. Thing just rolled over. I was like, oh, what do I do? My body's just completely flawed at the moment.
While Kai's flying the white flag, in the midfield, Tassie Tiger Bevy is waging a war on third-place Matt Poole.
I thought, you know, I'd really motor and see if I can get it onto his wash.
It just mentally was hard for me. I was already struggling.
Sort of felt bad overtaking him and stuff. Pooley's, you know, world board paddling champion, won Molokai, so it was a good feeling.
Up front, Ali is squeezed past Kendrick on the last leg. But Kendrick's not giving up.
Kendrick jumped on my wash, and I knew that I was never going to be able to drop him. He'll sit there for a year, Kendrick. He'll just keep fighting tooth and nail.
I just stayed on his wash, I
was lucky enough to just get a few little runs and skipped away.
Ali takes the win.
Awesome.
And having bottled up his fury for half the race, Kendrick hits the beach, ready to let fly.
I'm filthy, eh? So we were told, stand up, paddleboard and paddle.
Yeah.
You don't paddle like a clubby ball, you don't lay down and paddle it. I know I only did it for probably about 20 seconds and it bridged a gap that I sort of put on.
I turned around and I saw Pooley, Kai and Bevy flying, catching up to us on their stomach. So I jumped on my stomach.
I just said, mate, I can't believe you laid down and paddled like everyone else. So we got to paddle, why don't you use it? He's like, everyone else was doing it. It was so much quicker. I said, yeah, of course it was quicker. You caught up to me. I gapped you, then you caught straight up to me.
I thought we had to stand up. I yelled at Kendrick and said, hey, what are you doing on your knees?
Bevy edges out Pooley for third, who has his own take on the rules of the race.
That's a joke.
Dude, I was blowing up and I turned around and saw you guys laying down on your subs.
You should be disqualified for kneeling.
Nah, kneeling.
No, you should. It's a sub race.
Yeah, mate,
Put our paddleboards there if it's a paddleboard race.
You can kneel on subs.
No, you can't.
You can, mate. I'm all about fair racing and I just don't get it, mate. Who cares if you're on your knees or on your feet? Use a paddle. You know, who knows, I probably could have won that race.
And it's not just paddlegate that Kendrick's dirty about.
Sorry about before. I didn't like grab you.
You flipped my thing.
No, I didn't.
I saw you.
I didn't. Well, you can
Dude,
watch
you
the
lifted
footage.
my
I was
thing.
like this. I was going, what? And then you like, boom, you went off.
Oh.
You can watch it. It was pretty funny. We look back on it now and laugh, I suppose.
Battle-weary Kai is last to cross the line.
Booyah. Out of breath.
Bevy, apparently on the first change of the OC, you were holding on to Kendrick's craft, is that right?
Yeah, he was looking pretty strong, so I decided to try him off.
You know, it didn't really hold me back. You know, the whole race was quite controversial and, you know, there were blow-ups along the way. You know what, you just got to dust it off and move on to the next challenge.
The Ironmen agreed to put paddlegate in the past and let bygones be bygones. A win today keeps Ali within easy striking distance of Kendrick and Kai. While 5th place Bevy will gain much-needed confidence coming into the final 2 challenges.
I like to think I can beat these guys. You know, they've been my idols for so long, and I'm just stoked to, you know, be midfield and catching a little bit up in the point score.
Next time on Deep Water, they're the ultimate lifesavers. But can our Ironmen rescue themselves from some of California's most infamous locals?
Oh my God, just quickly.
My old body is feeling old.
My young body is feeling old.
Yeah, are you rolling out the soreness or are you rolling out the wrinkles, mate?
Hey.
Bit of both.
Hey.
Killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah.